Here to browse through the Saturday papers with me today are Nicola Blackwood, who's the prospective Conservative Party candidate for Oxford West and Abingdon, and sports journalist Johnny Gould. Very good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Johnny, I believe you're starting. What have you got for us this morning?
We've got a budget row over a £2,000 payout to scrap a car. This is the first friction between Peter Mandelson, Lord Mandelson and Alistair Darling. It wasn't going to be very long into the appointment of Lord Mandelson before these two would clash. After all, surely there would be an overlap between the Business Secretary and the Chancellor of the Exchequer. I never quite understood how those two jobs would be any apart. But this is to do with the scheme that Lord Mandelson has invested quite a lot of political capital in, which is this £2,000 payout to scrap your 9-year-old or older car for a brand new, more eco-friendly one, which is the talk of many people's driveways where you have an NREG or older, or younger, I think, probably. Yeah. So it's a situation where they're trying to pull the plug on Lord Mandelson, because I think there's a lot of realisation that if they can curtail Lord Mandelson's dream about this, they can rather curtail his power base somewhat.
And so it's more about reining him in than the actual
it
plan
appears
itself.
So, which is very disappointing news for my mum and my auntie.
That's what they were hoping for, £2,000 for their cars.
That's right, but of course, apparently, according to sources unnamed, he's ranting around his Business Secretary offices. When was the last time there was a good budget after all? And some Tories might say...
what do the Tories think of this
1996 is probably the answer.
Well, I mean, I think that using this opportunity to get a low-carbon economy is one of the things that we've been hoping for and calling for, and it would be so sad if a personality clash and power struggle actually put that at risk. I sort of did the green thing and got the Prius, and it's great and it runs wonderfully, but, people need some help in order to be able to go in that direction, and it's exactly what we should be spending our money on at the moment.
Yes.
OK, let's move on. You've got the next one, and this is the email story that we've been covering this morning.
Yes. It's very embarrassing for the government. Apparently, one of their top advisors has been sending emails to one of their blog meisters, in which he basically is sending scurrilous gossip about our good and great leaders across. It's really embarrassing for them. What I'd like to know is what he's being paid, because frankly, if this is what he's spending his time doing, then really we could scrap his salary and make one saving, and perhaps we could put that into getting our low-carbon economy.
OK, but have you spoken to David Cameron at all? Have you heard what the top brass think of these emails? Because apparently, they actually haven't been, no one's actually seen them, they haven't been published, haven't been broadcast, and it was a private email. Are they just laughing it off?
Well, yes. I mean, I think that they're spending their time thinking about sort of slightly more important things than gossip. But, generally speaking, it is an indication that they are doing this in Number 10 of how seriously politicians are now taking the internet.
OK, but come on, the Tories do that as well, don't they? They come up with things that they can say about the opposition as well, don't they?
Well, there are any number of Tories who may be writing that kind of thing, but I don't think that it's exercising David Cameron's mind at the moment.
Johnny, storming a teacup?
It's got to be. It's nearly over, isn't it? But good fun at the time.
Oh, yes.
Worth a 15-minute titter, probably.
Not quite 15.
Or Twitter.
Yes.
OK,
yes,
all right. The Sun, Johnny, you've got the next one. OK,
this is a story that the Sun are absolutely brilliant at exposing, and it concerns immigration farce, opening the door to terror. A suspect was let into the UK on the wrong papers over the alleged Manchester terror plot. He was allowed into Britain having the wrong documents. Police arrested him, then waved him through, and apparently, after being freed, he was arrested days later in the anti-terror raids. It appears to me that while Britain and Pakistan are attempting to try and solve this at the diplomatic end at both countries, maybe we should shut the door on student visas for now, just to see how things lie, because this is a very serious threat, importing terror like this.
That's pretty extreme, though, isn't it? Shutting the door on all students who want to come in here.
That would
Perhaps not from every part of the world.
Yeah. It would be a real threat to universities as well, because, I mean, at a time when their funding's been cut and the number of students that they can accept for next year has been put in doubt by government incompetence, they really rely on the funding that they get from foreign students. But I mean, what we need is a proper border police, which will be able to check people as they come in, ascertain who really are a threat, stop them, but let in the people who are, boosting our economy and boosting our universities.
OK, let's move on to the next one now. Good news, finally, for the economy, apparently. We're all out shopping this weekend. Hurrah!
I love the Daily Express because it always makes up stories, doesn't it, about the economy. House prices were about to crash when they were zooming up 25% a few years ago, and now they're deciding that when things are really bad, sales bonanza is about to boost the economy because they haven't got anything else to write. Apparently,
Are they just trying to talk it up though, get us all out there? Positive
Yeah,
story on the
they're-
front pages.
They're bigging it up, but apparently they've, you know, all you have to do is read about 4 lines into this, and you realise that it is mere speculation because those venturing out to the shops can expect a double dose of Easter cheer with temperatures rising to 18 Celsius in the south tomorrow. And if you look out your window, it's largely raining.
Didn't happen.
So that's put the kibosh on
We're
that
going to get some
story.
sunny spells apparently. You out shopping today, Nicola?
I might be. Apparently, there's a DIY price war going on, and I've got a bit of painting to do, so I might go and see what deal I can find and use the opportunity for that.
Okay.
Can't go outside.
All right, let's move on to the next story then. What have you got, Nicola?
I've got this story following on from the terror story that Johnny had. It's that universities have been asked to consider establishing a new anti-fraud unit to identify falsified applications for overseas students. The last time I checked, responsibilities for visas and making sure that they were bona fide lay with the Home Office. And I think that it's really an indication that the Home Office aren't coping, that they're suggesting that the universities take on this experience. They're not trained to identify terror threats. They are, up to their eyes trying to work out how they're going to fit all the students in. I think it's really inappropriate of the government to be suggesting that universities should take this job on, especially when it's putting the national security at risk.
Johnny, should they be taking more responsibility, universities, for who they let in?
No, I don't think it's their responsibility. I think it's straight at border control.
Yeah, border control.
Universities are there to educate, aren't they?
Exactly.
Okay,
not their
one
job.
more, time for one more. Give us a fun one.
Okay, so we'll move on from the Hillsborough story. What was the story
I've
that we were having a laugh about earlier?
I found a wonderful one. The French have invented a diet chocolate which has 0
Oh,
calories.
hurrah, that sounds fantastic.
But you have to inhale it, which I think completely defeats the
Sounds a
object
bit
of chocolate. This company, Le Wif, say that in a few months they will have 3-course meals that you can inhale and include 0 calories. It might be popular at Paris Fashion Week, but I don't think that anyone else is going to get into it.
It's too late for this year's Easter eggs as well.
Yeah.
Rumours that Bill Clinton's going to endorse it with "I did inhale" are unfounded at this time.
Okay, Johnny Gould, Nicola Flagwood, thanks very much for running through some of the stories in today's papers.
Brilliant. Thank
Thank you.
you.